If you've ever looked at your art and thought, hey, I would quite like to exchange my art for money so I can survive, boy, do I have a deal for you. Just open commissions, right? Well, it's not that simple. In fact, it burned me out so badly that I had to close mine down entirely. Trying to open commissions online can feel completely overwhelming. Suddenly, we're expected to be a full-time content creator, an algorithm wizard, and a marketing genius just to get one single commission request. But you don't have to repeat my mistakes. I'll be giving you the straightforward guide to setting up your commissions the right way. From the best platform options and legalities to marketing techniques, so you can avoid quitting for the same reasons I did. Where to set up a commission profile. The easy part. First, we need an actual place to organize your lovely art and your prices. You can't just tell people to DM me for prices and hope for the best. We need a setup that doesn't look harsh on the eyes. You'll also want to make a commission sheet, a simple page with your price information and your do's and don'ts. There are many design tutorials for that, so instead, let's talk about where to host your commissions. There are two main routes. Independent just means you build your own basic website, using something like Card. List your prices and examples, and have clients email you directly. The pros. 100% of the profit goes into your pocket. No giant third-party platform fees. The issue with going independent is it can feel a little sketchy to clients. If a random stranger asks for $50 over PayPal, plus, with no contracts attached, it requires a lot of trust. You have to manually handle all the invoices, tracking all the commissions yourself. It can be a big hassle. Because of that, most artists, including me, prefer a platform to do all the boring stuff for you. Organize orders, manage refunds. So, here are the 3 best platforms to use right now. Ko-Fi. Think of Ko-Fi like a digital tip jar that became a full-blown business. It's actually what I used for my commissions when I first opened them. It's super easy to set up, to navigate as a client, and features 0% platform fees on commissions. You just pay usual PayPal or Stripe fees. Of course, all positives have their negatives. It's a bit of a do-it-yourself setup compared to other actual dedicated art websites. So no help when it comes to tracking your workflow and client slots. Next up, we have Artistry. This platform was built specifically by artists for artists. It's completely free for the artists because they charge the client a small 6.5% platform fee at checkout instead. It completely automates forms, slots, and portfolios, has built-in human verification to make sure AI users can't join, too. Had I known about this one earlier, I would have used this instead. And the cherry on top is they literally plant a tree for every commission completed, helping the planet with each commission. Get it? Because it's called Artistry. VGen. We have all probably heard of this one before. If you do anime-style art, VTuber assets, or character design, VGen is the best platform right now. It's super modernized, community-based, and has a built-in verification system to prevent AI users as well. Sadly, of course, there's downsides. They take a 5% service fee from the artist, and that verification system I mentioned earlier. Pretty strict. You can't make an account until you have a VGen code, which you have to apply or get an invite code from another artist to get in. Now that you've picked your platform, we need to talk about boundaries. Just because you're using a website doesn't mean you're 100% safe. You need legal guardrails. You don't need a dry 30-page TOS like I did, but your TOS must absolutely include these 3 points. First, the deadline. Be brutally honest with yourself about how long it actually takes you to finish a drawing. If you realistically need 3 weeks, write down 3 weeks. If you lie to look faster or impress someone, you're just going to stress yourself out. On top of it all, your client is going to start haunting your DMs like a Victorian ghost, wondering why you rescheduled your deadline about 4 times. Number 2, commercial use versus personal use. This is where artists lose out on thousands, because we aren't taught the difference between personal and commercial use. Personal use means they can set your art as their phone background or post on Instagram with credit. Commercial use means they want to slap it on a t-shirt to sell. Or, simply put, if they are making money off your art, they need to pay a commercial fee. A simple pricing solution, charge double or triple your base price for commercial rights. Number 3, the refund policy. A client should not be able to demand a full refund when you're about 5 minutes away from finishing a piece. For example, 100% refund before sketching, 50% during line art, and 0% once rendering begins. Your time and effort isn't something you can just take back. The important thing is to find a balance that suits you, but keeps things fair for the client. If you want a deep dive into how to make a good commission TOS and refunds, I highly recommend watching the video right here after this one. It involves a free template to follow. Now, speaking of money disappearing into thin air, let's talk about chargebacks. A chargeback is when a client pays you, takes the finished artwork, and then secretly runs to their bank saying, "Hey, I didn't buy this. My bunny stepped on the keyboard. Give me my money back." The bank grabs the money from your account, leaving you without it and stolen from. But don't fret. You can prevent this by following these 2 rules. Rule number 1. 100% upfront payment. Never, ever send a finished, high-resolution file to someone who says, "I'll pay you after this is done, a pinky promise." You will get ghosted. Rule number 2. Save your progress screenshots, save your chat logs, and save the messages where they specifically say, "I love the sketch, please keep going." If a scammer tries to file a fake chargeback, the platforms that I mentioned earlier, like VGen or Artistry, will actually take those screenshots and fight the bank for you. Okay, we finally have the boring parts done. All we're missing is clients, and we can get to work. Wait, what's that? The art market is completely oversaturated, and every time you log on to social media, there are 10,000 other artists posting gorgeous work, and you think to yourself, how on earth do I stand out and stop people from scrolling past me with their thumbs in a fraction of a second? Well, people don't only buy art, they buy the artist. There are 2 main reasons someone will commission you. Either they want your exact style, or they love your content and want to support you. To get those clients, you need to stop posting the same generic captions everyone else uses and start creating content that builds a community unique to you. Okay, we've all heard that generic advice to build a community, but how do we actually do that? Here are 3 content formats you can use to inspire your promotion strategy. Keep in mind, there's much more to marketing than just formats. Things like attention spans, video hooks, editing styles deserve a whole separate video of their own. Go behind the scenes of the process. Share day-in-the-life clips, project diaries, or casual storytime videos with your drawing process playing in the background. A great trick here is to casually mention the first few seconds that the piece you're working on is a commission. Here's an example of an artist I discovered that used this method. Their editing style was just super satisfying to me, and I really enjoyed their art too. Show your skills by teaching others. Share your art knowledge by making educational videos that could help others out there. When you teach people how to improve, you instantly build massive trust and a community. And you're helping other artists out there too. That's a win-win. Redesign glow-ups. Take existing channel assets or designs that you believe are outdated and explain what you would change to make them better. At the end, mention your commissions to anyone looking for a custom upgrade for their own brand. Or honestly, just post your art wrapped in a compelling story. Frame your drawings around a lore drop, a comic strip, or a personal journey. It gives the viewer a reason to care about the drawings, aside from just the pretty art. Remember to change them to fit your own personality, interests, and the sort of community you want to build. Hold on. Before you publish that brand new commission page, we need to talk about the ultimate trap that ruins most artists before they even start: underpricing. If you constantly underprice your work, you trap yourself. Clients will only see you as the cheap artist. And the second you try to raise your prices to a survivable wage, they'll vanish. On top of that, it hurts the wider art community by tricking buyers into thinking that high-effort digital art is only worth pocket change. Charge what your time is actually worth. Because if you don't look after your pricing and your mental health, you'll end up exactly where I did, completely burnt out. Which brings me to why I actually quit. Let's put aside all that stress and jumble of marketing, legalities, and just sit with yourself for a moment. Why do you draw? Great. Where does your source of joy come from in art? Whenever you sit down to draw, do the sketch, color, the entire process. Do you struggle with perfectionism that slows you down completely? Do you think the reason you draw can fit into the landscape of creating art for others? And the reason I say this is because when I started to open commissions, the main reason was because I wanted to draw. I had this urge to create, but my urge to create wasn't drawings. Doing commissions because I need to draw something to practice, in the end, isn't very optimal. I thought if I can make someone happy with my art, then it's worth it, no matter how burnt out I am. But my perfectionism and motivation was stopping me the entire way. And so, I had to quit. I couldn't deliver on time, nor the quality of work I wanted to give. But it's important you keep in mind whether you'll burn out or not. That you find a way to still enjoy art at the same time, and that you're willing no matter if the piece won't be exactly perfect to you. Because that's the beauty of art, the humanity in it. Also, thank you so much for 6,000 subscribers. It's insane how far I've already been able to get, and I wanted to say I appreciate all of your support, and see you in the next video. Bye!